It's only fair that I lead us in rock, paper, scissors because you led us last time. So are you ready to begin?
I would concur. I think it is only fair. Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Shoot. No.
That's one for me, baby. That's
Editor,
one for me.
editor, please, please,
The editor's me, bitch.
no, Photoshop a rock in my hand.
Ready?
No. Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, 2 in a row, bitch. Let's go.
This is the first time I've had to do it twice in a row.
Megan, would you introduce us to what's happening today?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Rated MA. I'm Meg, and this is Allie. Yeah, today we'll be continuing our watch of Andor Season 1, and today is episode 5. I say today as if we're not recording 2 episodes in one day, but you get it.
Okay, don't give away our secrets, please.
We're wearing the same clothes.
They might not have noticed that. I don't know. I don't know how close they're looking at my shirts. I'm just wearing a black shirt, Megan. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
Because
move
you
your
can't
mic.
you
Move
can't
your
fucking
mic.
see, but then you can't hear me. Well, some people might actually prefer that, but this is my Ahsoka Tano embroidered shirt because she's my love.
And this is my Star Wars Spirit jersey.
And yes, we will continue wearing Star Wars shirts until we run out, and then we'll start repeating.
I might be running low pretty soon. I know you're not, but I
Still
am,
got a few more.
unfortunately. Today, the episode we'll be watching is episode 5, which is called The Axe Forgets. We can go ahead and hop in for that. And then also, if you see Allie and I writing and looking down, that is not because we're not paying attention and do not want to see what's on screen. And we do want to see what's on screen. We're just taking notes. So we have our little notebooks right here, and then we'll have a discussion at the very end of the episode. So we'll see you then. Do you think it's decorated the same way as his childhood?
Yes. I had to think about that for a second.
Bro needs to clean his window. He got streaks on it.
Bro is getting raptured.
Yeah. I'm ready. Pick me.
This is every bad bitch after they lose a job they loved.
Oh, the blue milk.
The blue milk is so good.
Oh, I miss Galaxy's Edge.
By the time you remember to sit up straight, it's too late.
That is a Cocoa Puff. Are his eyebrows blonde?
I think so.
Could have come anytime you wanted.
Any civilized being knows an open invitation is no invitation at all.
I will say one of my favorite things about the set design in Star Wars is how retro and 70s it is. I'm sure you guys have
Yes.
noticed based on the kind of
remember that.
overall atmosphere and vibe Meg and I have going on here at Rated MA. We tend to have a very kind of retro, mid-century modern type thing. And especially with the colors in the show, with like the oranges and the burnt reds and the yellows, the set design too, it's all mid-century, all like 60s, 70s, which would make sense since Star Wars came out in 1977. It's fucking perfect. I love it so much.
It's so good. What's also really weird about that scene is like how it is an apartment, but it still kind of gives the whole Empire vibes
Mm-hmm.
in a way, but it's also like warmth and everything. It still has like that sterile lighting and look and everything. It's very interesting.
I think she's having second thoughts. Go talk to her if you want. She'll be up soon.
Why is this giving The Witcher NPC a little bit?
Come with much.
Does kind of have a Witcher vibe. That is so accurate.
I feel like he's sending me on a side quest to go talk to another character.
How's your arm?
I'll be fine.
I'm so sorry. What are his fuck ass tattoos?
That's a great question.
He's got one like here.
Yeah. And the one on his arm is like down here. Like it's very
Well, I don't
Oh,
mind
it's
the
on-
forearm one. Yeah, and he's got one
I didn't
like,
even- I
right on the
thought-
side
You
of
know
his
what this
ribs.
means, don't you?
I thought the one on his rib cage was on his arm for a second, so that was my bad.
Yeah, that's how your eyes go right to it.
Great head
How about this?
by the hand.
They built a lot of cages, huh? The axe forgets, but the tree remembers.
There it is.
Title of the episode.
So that's
I will
it.
say,
That's what you hear.
after this episode
Revenge.
came out, I heard that phrase so fucking much because of how influential and good this show was, and
I was told
people
I
were
could help.
like saying it
Yeah,
as
but
if
you
they
won't
had
say by
never
who.
heard that phrasing before. I was
Working with other people's.
like, if you're an American that was born and raised in America, you had to have heard that at some point, right?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. I mean, you're from the Midwest, I'm from the East Coast. I definitely fucking heard it.
Where is she? Leader?
Lita also wearing blue.
Oh, that's just
Nobody cares. You can relax.
Oof.
that's just so hurtful.
See? There you go.
Go where?
That's my point.
Her husband, her daughter, horrible.
Yeah, they can both die for all I fucking care. Fuck Lita, fuck whatever her stupid ass husband's name is.
He's writing a manifesto. Did he tell you? Apparently, the only thing keeping us from liberty is a few more ideas.
A few more ideas. I mean, it's so confusing, isn't it? So much going wrong, so much to say, and all of it happening so quickly. It's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident. But they have a fight on their hands, don't they?
Finish your milk.
Rude.
They're so mean to him. Protect my boy.
You don't know how to get it off the runway, do you?
We know how to fly it.
Yeah, but you gotta get it up there first. I'm flying it. We can say it's your idea. I don't care, but if it's my ass on the line, I'm pulling this thing out of there.
Fair.
I mean, Cassian's 100% right. Like, if they're gonna bring him into this plan and they don't know how to fucking get out, and he does, yeah, put his ass in charge.
Exactly.
Get them, Cassian.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's so cool.
You are Imperial Private Clem. You're a sentry from the Alkenzi airbase transferred.
Oh, Kenzie, that's right. I remember that name now.
More.
Don't touch me. If you want something, you tell me.
He has like negative lips. Like them bitches fold in. Still hot though. In the nicest way possible, Diego Luna looks easy to draw. In the nicest way possible. Oh, these bitches are on Ferrix. God damn it. Dank Ferric.
Do you think they had Cassian shave his beard and everything before? One, of course, to like look a little bit different, but the second thing is then once his beard grows, it shows how long he's been out there.
I mean, that definitely will help for sure.
Good time indicator.
Very simple, but
Your assignment.
good way to do it.
Here. We're following orders. The door's being opened as we.
Cassian's holding his gun the wrong way.
Should swap sides.
Why don't you get a handle on what we're doing here before you start making suggestions?
Because it's a good one.
Fucking buzzed him. What a jackass.
They'll soon see. Surprise from above is never as shocking as one from below.
It's a good point.
How's your arm?
It's good. You're a healer.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm just moving your stuff.
Don't.
It was in the way.
Don't ever.
Yeah, that wasn't suspicious at all.
No, totally not.
So it's gone.
The Finkley conference.
Such good RBF.
There goes their little model.
Do you think one of them just one night snuck in there and played dolls? Yes or no?
Yes.
The correct answer is it's Nemec who did that.
I could see him like reenacting, like, because they said he was writing a manifesto, right?
Nemec is writing a manifesto, yes.
Yeah. So he's like little doll and he's like telling all of them they're actually like listening to him. So it's like what he wants to happen. So I think that's the scene he plays at all the time.
Oh.
I needn't tell you how wrong you were about Uncle Hollow.
But you will.
Why is he always eating cereal? Oh no, it's back to the same scene as before. Never mind.
Energy
I
in
think
the
this is a
future.
different day. I don't think this is the same scene.
So he's just always eating cereal.
Yeah, I think that's the running joke is that Cyril eats cereal.
I struggled.
Damn, she got fucking heels on in her own goddamn house.
Now I want Captain Crunch.
Oh. Yeah.
28 meters.
I kind of want some Cocoa
Make it a
Puffs, deadass. I love Cocoa Puffs.
Red.
Cocoa Puffs are good, but I'm definitely a Captain Crunch girly or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Anything, I guess, with a crunch to it.
I went into hypoglycemic shock like a month ago and ate like half a box of Captain Crunch in one sitting.
Icon. I look up
True
to
story.
you.
Fell in love with a local woman, lost a promotion.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
His taste for the Empire.
I want it painted the day after tomorrow. I'll be here midday and I expect to see it shine.
I love the lighting in this
Make sure the men
scene.
know how close
It's
they've
cool.
come.
Yeah, it is really cool.
That's a lot of money.
I like her coat.
I love their outfits, all of them.
Don't move. Because you know what'll happen.
Hey, what are you doing?
Look,
What is it?
Kyber. Sky Kyber. What's going on? He comes here with nothing but the clothes on his back and a stone worth 30,000 credits.
50,000?
I've topped out on questions.
Excuse
though.
you?
I have reached my limit.
I think we're okay. It's heading towards the garrison.
Read the room.
You want out of this. Make a choice. Don't use me as an excuse.
I need her fits so bad.
Cloris. Sir.
Do you mind taking the expressway?
Yes, sir.
But there was no traffic.
Yeah, but he wasn't going fast enough. Like, bro, I'm doing 10 over the speed limit. Get off my ass and turn off your fucking high beams.
Oh, this is a really cool shot. I love the framing of that. His little soldiers.
Not his action figures. Me when I'm hyperfixated on something.
Okay, that should do it.
His ass is still going. Ooh, cool shot.
I need to hear you tell me you can follow the plan.
You won't have a problem with me.
Such a shit. You won't have a problem with me. Oh, I think this is the first time we've seen Luth in this episode, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
And Clea, his assistant, who I think is Cassian's sister.
I can see it.
Belle's the only one who traces back.
She's got this like odd pallor to her skin that's like super pale, and she has like a red tint under her eyes. It's really fascinating. Oh, I think that's it for this episode. It sure
And
is.
there it is.
That was Andor, episode 5 of season 1, The Axe Forgets. What do you think, Meg? I almost hit stop recording. Sorry about the panic. Anyway.
I mean, I'm gonna probably say it about every episode. I like it. I like Andor. I like this series. I think it's very well done. Pretty much in every aspect, whether it's like screenwriting. Granted, I'm not a screenwriter, so I'm not the best critic of that. But cinematography, lighting. I mean, just even color grading, everything. The editing's fantastic. So I think it's very well executed. I would say this is probably one of the best shows that's they've come out with.
Oh, for sure. Like, of the Star Wars projects, I think this is easily the best Star Wars project they've done.
I agree. Granted, I have not seen a Skeleton Crew yet.
Yes, and I also have not finished The Acolyte. I started The Acolyte, didn't finish it, and I've also not seen Skeleton Crew. So we'll probably get to those at some point. But I did see Obi-Wan, I did see Ahsoka, and obviously I've seen The Mandalorian. So
You want to start us off with notes?
I absolutely can. I'll go through the quick ones first. By the way, Megan and I did take notes. I had slightly less notes this time. This one was more about conversation in this episode, I think. We learned that Cyril's mom is trying to get him a job because he's jobless, because he's a loser. We learned about Mon Mothma's daughter, Lita, and how her and her daughter seem to be having some sort of like contentious thing. There's like allusions to the fact that like Mon's husband and her daughter are like conspiring against her because she's like super political. She's a fucking senator. Of course, she's political, but there's all that. Another thing that was unique to learn is that the little group out on Aldani don't really know how to escape. They were asking Cassian how to navigate the ship out of the dock, and he realized quite quickly that they didn't know how to get it out of there. And he was like, "You're going tomorrow and you don't know how to get out of there? Okay."
Which he must be absolutely just horrified to hear that. I
I
would
know.
be.
Yeah, I'd be like,
So,
"I'm out. Bye. Good luck." You know? Those are some of my smaller notes. I have a few other notes as well dealing with some of the stuff, but do you have anything that you would like to talk about that's pressing?
I don't know about pressing, but I am curious on it. Do you think that, of course, like we've talked about before, wardrobe is always very intentional and
Mhm.
choices and everything like that. So, on Mothma, her family, everything like that, wears like the blues, yellow, like different tones, but she's always in white. Do you think it's more because she's neutral? Do you think it's because she's not aligned with her family?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, as a writer, why would you put a character in that way?
As a writer, it's not usually up to you to decide what a character wears unless it's like specific. So, like
Correct.
when George Lucas wrote Darth Vader, he obviously had in mind like this big hulking helmet and this big suit and this cape and whatever. But it was really a costume designer who designed everything. However, between directors, writers, and costuming, they all determine what is trying to be portrayed. I think the white has always rooted into government in this show, and not even just in the show, but in Star Wars in general. Like when you think about Leia, I mean, Leia was a senator, wasn't she?
Mhm.
Also, when you meet Leia in A New Hope, she is wearing like that white, that very classic white dress, but she was on a diplomatic mission from Alderaan. We now know it was because of the rebellion, but I have always associated the color white with either government or imperialism within Star Wars. And because Mon Mothma is like the senator of all senators in the Star Wars universe, she wears a lot of white. And her husband and her daughter clearly aren't in politics because they don't give a fuck. They're just like socialites at this point. So by putting them in colors, they're not in contrasting colors because if they were in contrasting colors, they would be in like blacks or dark browns or anything that shows how different they are. They're in these like pastel blues, these like pale blue colors. It just kind of shows how separate they are from her. Like, I don't honestly, with Mon Mothma in this whole show, I think she might wear gold at one point, but I think for the most part she wears either like white or cream. Like those are the colors that Mon is seen wearing throughout the whole show, and I do believe that it's because of her position in government. But I will say I've seen shots of her in season 2 where she is not wearing white, she is wearing like the orange and the yellows, and I also think that that has to do with after she leaves because of the Gorman massacre when she officially joins the rebellion. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how that will play out, but I mean, it very well could be like the color difference very well could be just to show how different and separated she is specifically from her husband and her daughter.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was honestly kind of thinking because as a cinematographer, sometimes you do kind of have a say if you see a character, like if wardrobe's like, hey, this is what we're thinking. We're like, no, could we actually do something like this? There is a little bit of say in their wardrobe as well with like colors and all of that stuff. So whenever it comes to that, I can see like them being like, no, we want her to be almost like separated, not showing that she kind of aligns with their values or like their behaviors, who they are. So she's just either a little bit more neutral. So she just kind of not don't want to say like completely stands out against it because that would be like the opposite part of the color wheel to
Right.
really stand out. But it just shows like a little bit of a separation and that maybe she's just neutral in the household. It's just kind of like that's just what it is.
Yeah, I 100% think that that's what it boils down to. There was a lot of talk about Nemec in this episode. Nemec is writing a manifesto, which we learned about. And some of the key points that he spoke about that I was able to catch was that we are too reliant on technology, which is an age old idiom that's come around again and again and again, and it will keep coming around in modern day, like our climate, as well as within the Star Wars universe, on being too reliant on technology. And then he also said it's easier to hide behind 40 atrocities than a single incident, which is basically like, of course, the Empire is doing horrible things because it's easier to say, oh, well, that's just how we are. We do 40 horrible things instead of one big one that we have to apologize for. Now we've got a bunch of them happening everywhere and no one cares anymore because it happens all the time. Nemec's manifesto is very political commentary, but sorry, it's a political show. Very political show.
Yes. I mean, Star Wars has kind of always been that
Star
way.
Wars has always been political. Star Wars was originally written, I believe, during the Korean War, which would have been in the 70s or 80s, I think. I think. Sorry if I got that wrong, but I believe it was written like in direct response to that because George Lucas was very much anti-war at that time, which duh. And by the way, if you don't know this, the United States is the Imperials. We're not the good guys. We are the Imperials. Sorry. Yeah, like the US is the empire. Like, I hope you guys know that. Another thing was Nemec also had a comment that I really liked, which was a surprise from above is never as shocking as one from below, which I'm trying to think of like in the grand context of like what he's trying to talk about. I'm not sure that I 100% know off the top of my head right now, but I really liked that line, so I wrote that down. There was also mentions of some familiar things in this episode. Kessel made the Kessel run in 12 parsecs,
Mhm.
which is that system. And then we also got a mention of Jakku, which is Rey's home planet. Not really her home planet, but Rey's planet from the hell's that movie?
Force
Force Awakens.
Awakens.
Had to get there. I got there. Mind your business.
Proud of you.
And then Deirdre mentions that she believes that there are potential uprisings happening on those planets, which I find really interesting. There was also the Kyber crystal necklace, which I guess I missed in the last episode. I think Luthen did mention it was Kyber, and I must have just missed it while I was taking notes. He has a sky Kyber necklace, which we know that Kyber is, of course, very, very, very valuable because it's what's used to power the lightsabers and other blasters and stuff.
I don't think he mentioned that it was Kyber. I think he just mentioned it was worth 50,000 credits and then just don't accept it for any less. I think he was just short and just being like, this is what it is. Doesn't give much detail. Sell it.
He might have. I'm not 100% sure if it was we missed it, but we know now it's Kyber. It's a Kyber necklace. One of the things I loved most about that scene was Cassian is still like, even when he was thrown off by Skeen attacking him, he still turned around and turned the tables on Skeen and said, if you're looking for a way out, don't use me as your excuse, which is so good and so Cassian of like, you're only targeting me and you only care because you don't want to be here and you don't want to do this and you're looking for any reason to get out. Don't make me your excuse. Just man up and admit it yourself, which so good. Great scene. We also heard about Skeen's brother, which I took a note of because that is going to come into play later, probably in the next episode or the one after that, but I believe it's the next episode. And then the last we saw of Luthen, we saw him waiting for news on the Aldani run, and his assistant Clea telling him, no news, chill out, do something useful. And he's like, "Ugh," which, fair. So those were all my notes. I took very simple notes this episode because I have a tendency to ramble.
I thought it was really interesting that they're planning on moving the Imperial Air Base.
Yeah, moving it closer to the valley. Actually, that
Yeah.
was a note that I didn't read that there was racist rhetoric against the Aldani folks, the Aldani natives.
Yes.
Again, more political commentary about Native Americans. Again, I remind you, the United States is the empire. Sorry. Star Wars is so black and white when you understand it. It's kind of
Yeah.
just night and day. Yeah, I made a comment about I think his name is Sergeant Gorn. He's the mole that they have that is the Imperial officer who is feeding them information. He was having a conversation with a guy on top of the dam and he basically said like, in the 7 years that I've been here, I've seen 2 of these celestial events, the eyes or whatever, and the last time that the Aldani folk came, there was only 100 of them, and one of the guys says, "Well, can you imagine 1,000? You could smell them. Even 100 enough is enough to smell them," which is just very general racist rhetoric.
Yeah.
Shit sucks. Don't be racist.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. It's so easy not to be a racist.
But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and that's why they're getting rid of the Aldanians is to be able to move their airbase there, which is really messed up. I really like the phrase was like never climb the same fence twice.
Yes. Learn your lesson the first time or don't return to the crime scene type thing. Deirdre mentions that of when she's discussing like all these different rebellion cells that she's finding, like on Kessel and Jakku, she makes the comment of if it was me, I would spread it out and I would never climb the same fence twice. And her assistant, whoever is assisting her, I don't know his name, says something where he's like, too random to be random. I was like, yeah,
Yes.
that's good. That shit's
Yeah.
good.
No, it's true. It definitely is too random to be random. So they're
Mhm.
definitely, of course, I mean, of course they're on to something. We know
Yeah.
clearly, but Cassian doesn't know that.
Cassian don't know shit. He don't know
Nope.
anything about what's going on.
He's just there for the money to get out of there. That's it.
Yeah, he needs a ride. Like, pick him up, please.
I mean, you kind of covered a lot of what my notes were.
Mhm.
So that's all I got.
That's all I have too. The only other thing that I didn't mention was the fact that we now have an Imperial presence on Ferrix, which will come back into play later. And we have people, specifically the gentleman that Deirdre was arguing with back at the security corporates or whatever, setting up a base on Ferrix to kind of control and search, I believe, search for Cassian in case Cassian comes back. But that's bad. Surely that won't cause trouble later.
No. Why would it?
Mm. Anyway, but that is the rest of my notes. So maybe we can wrap this up early.
I guess so. I guess see you in the next one.
Yeah. Thank you for watching Andor with us. As always, I'm Allie. This is Meg. We're going to be continuing our Andor rewatch. We're still prepping for season 2. We'll have season 2 coming out shortly as well. But in the meantime, you guys can catch us in the next episode of episode 6. Wait, no, you can catch us in the next episode of episode 6. What the fuck does that mean?
Editor, keep that in.
No, the editor's is the editor me or you? Is me? It's me. Okay. In the meantime, you can catch us in the next episode of Andor, which will be episode 6, The Eye, which is one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. So I'm very excited to get to that next time. As always, I'm Allie. This is Meg. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.